in the Indianapolis community. By Bertner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. By Morales Group, we're in business to create a better future for you and for your family. By Northwestern Mutual, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. By Indiana Laborers District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are La Una. And by IndianaSRN Sports Page. Follow the sports page every day with updates, news from coast to coast. Log on at IndianaSRN.org and click on our tab. Well, Austin, as we get ready for tonight's contest, two teams kind of on opposite sides of the standings in the HCAC as the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers come in with a record of 2-6-1, 1-0-1 in the standings early on here in the season. Hanover been pretty dominant so far, 7-2 and 2-0 in conference. Both of these teams with some positive things to look back on over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Hanover's been a tough team to beat. They won this conference last year, 8-0-1, their conference record. They're the top seed and actually knocked out Rose-Hulman en route to winning the HCAC and earning a bid into the NCAA tournament. Rose-Hulman, as you mentioned, struggled a little bit this year, 2-6-1. They were 1-6 in non-conference. They don't play very well away from here, but they do have results in their last two matches, including a draw in their October conference opener against Transylvania, 1-1. So looking to build on that, but this is a tough Hanover team, arguably the best team they have played all year. And Hanover has just scored goals at will. Their last one, a 6-0 drubbing of Bluffton on Senior Day. Saturday, they've won 3 straight matches, and they are, again, a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman with a really tough schedule so far on the season. They had to play number 1 in the country, Washington University of St. Louis, back on the 21st of September, a 5-0 loss there. Had a really tough streak to start the season, 3 straight losses on the road. But as you mentioned, not just the winning or the draw against Transylvania, but they win at Bluffton at the end of September. And you know, when you're trying to get your team kind of pointed in the right direction after an early set of struggles, a lot of it really is what can you anchor your team to. And for Rose-Hulman, it's really been their defensive effort here recently.
Yeah, they've been very good on that side of the ball this season, and that's where they've kind of been over the course of the past few seasons as well. Their top goal scorers on offense only have 2 goals each. So they're very much built on at the back. They've in the games they have won, they have put up some clean sheets, but in the early going this year they struggled with keeping balls out of the back of the net, but as of late have been much better, and they've gotten some good rest as well after that loss to Washington 5-0. They had a week off. They beat Bluffton. They had a week off after that and the 1-1 draw to Transylvania. So now playing in the midweek for the first time in several weeks, looking to see how they fared with a little bit less rest. But as we know, this team is very sturdy at the back.
We'll take a quick break and come back and talk about Hanover here on RHIT.TV.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Welcome back to Rose-Hulman Soccer Field here on RHIT.TV. Galen Clavio along with Austin Platt. Happy to be joining you for this contest, which will get started in just a couple of minutes. We talked about Rose-Hulman to start things off with. This Hanover team's been really impressive so far this season. They start off with 4 wins out of their first 5 games, and as they've gotten started with conference play, a 2-1 win on the road at Anderson, and then a 6-0 drubbing, as you called it earlier, against Bluffton over the course of this past weekend. What's been the secret sauce for the Panthers so far?
Well, the biggest is just Beth Cook. I mean, one of the best players in program history, 6 goals and 9 assists last season. She had an injury she picked up at the end of last season, which forced her to miss the postseason, although her teammates picked up for her by winning the HCAC. Cook, again this year, 6 goals, 9 assists, already has a hat trick earlier this year against Kenyon. She's only scored in 3 games this year, but once she scores in multiple. aptitudes, already with a hat trick, as I mentioned, and they're well-rounded. They can score. They're sturdy at the back as well. The junior goalkeeper and Emma Patterson, and they're good from top to bottom. They're tough to break through, and when they can score, they can put the ball in the back of the net at ease.
Yeah, Hanover with a 3.11 goals per game average so far on this season compared to Rose-Hulman's 0.67 goals per game. Rose-Hulman has had some trouble getting the ball in the back of the net, but a pretty good defensive effort overall from Rose-Hulman throughout the course of the season, only allowing 1.89 goals against. That's going to be the big question. How well, and we see this a lot, I think, with soccer at different levels. If you're facing an offensively superior opponent, can you stymie their offense? Can you make it hard for them to get the ball in the box and get shots off? And that's really going to be the challenge for Rose-Hulman. And then can you nick something on a set piece, perhaps on your own later on in the game? Yeah,
can they utilize the counterattack? Can they put the right balls in the right positions in the, we would assume, limited number of set pieces they get on the other end? It's all about tactics and being patient, being sturdy at the back, communicating, doing all the right things to try and prevent Hanover from kind of putting the ball in the back of the net and potentially doing that multiple times. It's very easy for a team like Hanover to run away with games like these.
Still very early in the HCAC conference season. A lot of soccer left to be played for both of these squads, and certainly the options on where the season could go for both of these teams still kind of up in the air. And you look at this Rose-Hulman squad, you think maybe they're starting to come together a little bit. They will be tested certainly here, but they do have the home field advantage. It's Greek night here at Rose-Hulman Soccer Field. We'll see if the crowd can power them towards a better result than one might think of just looking on paper. We'll go ahead and break here in just a minute as we get ready for the start of this contest. Again, here at Rose-Hulman Soccer Field, along with Austin Platt. I am Galen Clavio. You're watching RHIT.TV coverage of Rose-Hulman Fightin' Engineers women's soccer. We'll be back right after this.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2020? 75 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new Living Mall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Rose-Hulman Soccer Field in Terre Haute, Indiana. Galen Clavio, Austin Platt joining you as the sun is starting to set. We're going to get pretty dark here pretty quickly. Introductions currently taking place on the field for both of these squads. You're seeing Hanover being introduced first, and we'll see Rose-Hulman introduced right after this. as we look at Rose-Hulman, they've kind of spread the scoring around so far on the season. Kara Hicks, one of the two Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers who leads the team with only 2 goals so far this season. But again, they're going to probably need to nick at least 1 goal throughout the course of this game, and then most of the power is going to be on the defensive end for this squad.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a smash and grab sort of game, if you will. 2 goals this year for Hicks, 2 goals for Sydney Schuler as well. Just 6 goals total this year for Rose-Hulman, but they've been better at the back, as we mentioned, especially as this month of October has started. In the last 2 matches, they've conceded only 1 goal, so they've been much better at the back.
Introductions being completed here, and we'll get started here very shortly. Both teams with a really nice night. I mean, the temperature conditions couldn't be more perfect. Austin, it's, according to my trusty Apple Watcher, 70 degrees at opening kick, and should be a really nice fresh evening. We're kind of still in that part of October where you don't know what kind of day you're going to get. You got a really nice one tonight for this game.
Yeah, it still feels like summer somehow, even though a week ago it was like, all right, no, the time to wear shorts is now behind us, but no, you still get up. It's still nice out, and still in the 70s for kickoff is a perfect setting as the sun sets to our right.
Starting in goal for Rose-Hulman, we've talked a little bit about the need to play some pretty solid defense. It's going to start with Lily Dore, who's behind or between the pipes tonight, the 5'5" senior out of Lafayette, Louisiana. And you can see now the teams having the pregame handshake, and they'll head to their respective corners. Starting in goal for Hanover, it's going to be Emma Patterson, the junior out of Owensboro, Kentucky. And both teams now huddling up one last time with their respective benches before they head out and get things started. You can see Rose-Hulman filing out and getting more or less what would look like they were getting into position. Now they've decided to go back and have a little bit of a chat. Austin, as we head into this contest, we'll be handed over to you for the play-by-play, but other standout players you're expecting maybe we see something out of from a statistical perspective tonight.
Yeah, it's easy to just kind of look at Beth Cook, but Kate Bettner for Hanover, she's got 5 goals this year. A lot of these Hanover players have been on the first team all HCAC team, not even last year, but the year prior. So they bring back a ton of experience. They only really lose 1 big goal scorer going back from last year, Jocelyn Reeves, who actually scored a goal in the semifinal against Rose-Hulman, but 13 goals, 6 assists. She graduated, but Rose-Hulman returns a lot, and you mentioned it's going to be a lot of Dore. 17 goals allowed this year. Maybe the statistics a little bit slanted, obviously losing to the number 1 team in the country, 5-0. The numbers are going to be skewed a little bit, but 17 goals allowed, under 2 goals a game, a save percentage right around .625. So off the top of my head, that's 5 out of every 8 shots. You're going to need to be better than that tonight if you want a chance against Hanover. But it's a team that's kind of the team that scores versus a team that tries not to give up goals on one end. So maybe expect to see a lot of the play in one end tonight.
Hanover, one of the better teams on the road in all of Division III last year, 5-1-1 in away games and 14-2-4 overall. Of course, they won the HCAC title. You called that game on our sister network, IndianaSRN, and then they lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament, so maybe some unfinished business on that side. And for this Rose-Hulman squad, obviously, looking to try to improve on what they did last year. They were a pretty good team last year, all told, 8-4-5 on the season, or 5-2-1 in conference, losing in the HCAC tournament. Some unfinished business, apparently, against this particular team that they're playing tonight.
Yeah, both teams kind of have that mindset and maybe a little bit of revenge on the mind, considering these teams played twice really in the span of 1 week last year, and that was it. But away we go here at Rose-Hulman Soccer Stadium. Rose-Hulman moving from left to right. Hanover coming into this one at 7-2, 2-0 in the conference, moving from right to left. Beautiful Wednesday night. Rose-Hulman getting the first possession. Beth Cook, 33 in blue, is the real player to watch out for Hanover. Second in program history in both goals and assists. She scored 22 of them last year, which set a program record.
Hanover really settling down and trying to get some initial possession in midfield, which I wouldn't be surprised if they just do this for a little while as they try to establish some overall control of the game.
Ball sent to the far side, trying to be kept in, but it goes out of play. It will be a Rolls-Holman throw. Cream uniforms for Rolls-Holman with a red stripe, red shorts, and red socks. All navy blue for Hanover with white numbers in the center and on the back as well with blue socks.
A little bit of an unsettled start here for both of these teams. Is Rose-Hulman really being aggressive as they put the press on early on, trying to keep Hanover from moving the ball down the field efficiently.
Here's Nora Ludwig making a move, has an option to her left. That's Emma Gill, the freshman. Gill over to the left wing, waiting for teammates to queue up in the box. Gill on that right foot.
There's a nice dispossession there on courtesy of Taylor Beatty.
32-on-32 action as Erin Terry trying to get the ball from Hicks. There's a big matchup advantage there for Hicks. But here comes Beth Cook getting into the box. The first shot of the match is easy for Dore.
One of those situations where both teams probably like how that played out. You get a shot on goal to start with if you're Hanover, and you get a save to start off with for Rose-Hulman.
It was a tough angle for Cook. Rose-Hulman happy to give her that angled shot from just inside the box all night long. Ludwig looking for Gill. Now to Kaylee Shermer, the sophomore from Ohio. 1 goal and 2 assists this year. Hanover definitely spreads the wealth as well up and down their roster in terms of goal scorers. It's been Cook leading the charge with 6, but there are a lot of players on this team that have contributed either goals or assists. 2 points for a goal and 1 for assists in the stat column.
Yeah, having that balance is so important, particularly at this level. You never really know who's going to step up in a game, and that makes it hard to scout if you're the opposition, as you've got a bunch of different potential goal scorers that you're facing on any given night.
Shermer gets the ball dispossessed by Rolls-Hulman. Here's Hicks moving out to the left. She'll play it over to the left wing. And Fighting Engineers trying to get inside the box with the ball on the far end. And
Troy
that battle won by Hanover.
Yeah, Troy pretty easily dispossessed there, but a nice move by Rose-Hulman as they kind of widen the field a little bit on that.
A lot of the play has been on that right wing to this point. Shermer trying to get it to the back line. Rose-Hulman has been pushing up. They got 6 or 7 players inside the Hanover half at the moment. Beatty playing it towards the middle. Bit of a heavy touch. Hanover can hold on to it and slow things down, reset, and get their back 4, passing it around a little bit.
It was a good idea by Beatty trying to center, although I'm wondering if perhaps on their own right wing, Rose-Hulman maybe tries to widen this Panthers defense. They are very packed into that last 30 or so yards.
Get another chance to utilize the wing potentially, but moving it over to the left was Choi. The pass ahead looking for Cook. Settled down by the Fighting Engineers. They will have an eye on Cook all night long. Ball being knocked around the midfield, picked up by Gill. And now over to Ludwig, the junior. Has a few options, an overlapping run to her left, but she'll take a few dribbles. Looking in the center. That was in between 2 of her teammates.
A little too optimistic there by Ludwig. I think she thought that run was continuing when it just did not.
Now, speaking of runs, here is one down the left for Rose-Hulman if they can keep it in, which they do. Towards the byline. A great move. Across is a good one. The header just wide. Oh, they had found Hicks, that big target in the center. And that's the chance you're looking for. You'll take that every day of the week if you're Rose-Hulman. And just to the right of the post.
Yeah, that was really nice positioning by Kira Hicks. You can see on the cross there, just couldn't quite get the right contact on the ball. It glances wide, but promising sign for Rose-Hulman early in this game.
A lot of the ball has been within the Hanover half. A little bit of friendly fire as the ball goes off of a Rose-Hulman player. Went off of Beatty in the end, and now Cook and Hanover can try and possess. Shermer looking to win the header. Clark turns around and plays it back to Dore. Offsides. Gill is coming from an offside position.
Folks, Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors throughout Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give them a call today at 317-849-0810.
No score between Rose-Hulman and Hanover. Alongside Galen Clavio, I'm Austin Platt. Thanks for joining us on this gorgeous Wednesday night. It just doesn't feel like fall quite yet.
Not even looking like it yet. We haven't had much foliage turnover. A little bit. You can see a little bit in the trees behind the stadium, but it's not quite to that point.
Well, someone will have a throw here. Just about 7 minutes gone in this first half. No score. And the teams met last year in the regular season finale. Ended in a 0-0 match just a week before they played in the HCAC semifinals, which was won by the top-seeded Hanover Panthers.
Nice job by Castiglione there, clearing it out.
Beatty up ahead for Gibson. Her first touch, couldn't find a teammate. Rose-Hulman not making it easy for Hanover to clear it out of their own half. And Exhibit A as Beatty takes it away. Gets it back, trying to play it up ahead to Hicks.
Really aggressive moves here by Rose-Hulman. I like the approach. You know, when you're playing a superior opponent offensively, take the fight to them. Make it hard for them to get any sort of a rhythm in offensively. So far, yeah, you've had one shot on goal by Hanover, but I think you could make an argument Rose-Hulman's had the better of the chances thus far.
It wasn't on goal from Hicks, but it was a much closer effort.
One of the great aspects of our location here, you can hear a little bit of the chatter coming from the coaches as they talk through things, but I think a little frustration on the part of the Hanover coaches as they're looking for balls to be sent a little bit longer, maybe not entirely route one, but get the ball over the defense, stretch Rose-Hulman back out the opposite direction.
That was head coach James Watts, the reigning HCAC Coach of the Year. Last year the Panthers 8-0-1 in the conference and earned the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament by winning. Speaking of ball over the top, here's one potentially for Cook. Heading it down to herself, trying to get on that left foot. Cook's shot is blocked. Hanover did well to get back. Rose-Hulman did well to get back. And all Cook can do, well, it looked like it would have been a throw, but instead the referee blows his whistle, and it's going to be Rose-Hulman ball.
That was a really nice intervention by Vianney Garcia. You can see there's combos on that defensive play, and they really recover nicely after that ball over the top to Cook. That's what Rose-Hulman's going to have to do, recover when Hanover does that kind of thing, and then try to regroup and get the ball back down the field.
Rose-Hulman has not made it easy for Hanover to sit within their own half. Whistle and a foul goes against Hanover.
Folks, at Morales Group Staffing, we're in business to create a better future for you, your family, and for the community we share. We can match you with the right career or hire the right candidate for your company. Call Morales Group Staffing today at 317-472-7600.
Free kick, ball sent ahead. Hanover deals with it nicely. Now Shermer can potentially find Gill on a break. Gill trying to bring it down, speeding to her right. Emma Gill with a great run, entering the box. Gill as Cook is going to take a shot, and it's off the crossbar. That close on the counter for Emma Gill. Would have been her second of her career, but now Rose-Hulman looking to punish the other way. Nobody's ahead as all the Rose-Hulman players started running back to try and help on defense.
Well, those are the types of shots that you replay in your head over and over again if you're Emma Gill. Like, how did that not go in? Great individual effort by her to bring that down in midfield. Essentially kind of just take off by herself and draw all the defenders. Almost had a brilliant goal off of what really looked more like a cross than anything else.
Yeah.
You can see there, pings right off the center of the crossbar. Very unlucky for Gill.
Just over 10 minutes gone, no score. Hanover coming in winners of 3 straight, 2-0 in the conference. Rose-Hulman coming off a 1-1 draw to Transylvania over the weekend. The second of 2 straight home matches. Hanover just slowly and surely pushing the ball up the field through throw-ins. Johnson had it for a moment, but it was sent away by Rose-Hulman.
Rose-Hulman really mucking it up here, and most of Hanover's success has been on long balls like that, but a nice job by Rose-Hulman to clear that one out as well.
Great takeaway from Hicks. Hicks going to have a shot from distance, and a great save by Patterson. Brushing it to her right. 2 shots in the game for Hicks. That one would have gone in if it wasn't for the hands of Patterson.
You can see here on the replay, Hicks able to just take that ball away and uncorks it from about 25 yards. That was really on target, Austin. I'm really impressed with what Hicks has been able to do so far in this contest.
Patterson comes in with a save percentage of .719. First corner of the night for Rose-Hulman. Oh, it nearly was an Olympico. Nearly went all the way in. Second effort, side netting only. Well, a quick flurry for Rose-Hulman.
Rose-Hulman did not get the note about not being very good on offense tonight. They have been aggressive. They have taken shots when they've needed to. And again, you say almost the Olympico here. A desperate save there, I believe, by Kate Bettner to keep that, clear it off the line and keep it scoreless so far.
Another takeaway by the Fighting Engineers. A cross finds a teammate, left-footed shot was blocked.
Lingered a little too long there, did Katie Choi. I understand what she was trying to do, but you almost have to just do that one time as it gave Hanover's defense a chance to recover.
Second corner of the night for Rose-Hulman. This one not going on goal towards the center. Headed away, and now this is where Hanover can break. Gill finds Cook on the right. Cook with a great move, getting it onto her left, and now taking it into the Rose-Hulman half. Cook looking ahead for Ludwig, and now Shermer can take it. Kaylee Shermer trying to reverse the course of play, doesn't get it the first time. Ball nearly ricocheted back to her, and then she committed a foul. It'll be Rose-Hulman ball.
Surprised Hanover had so many people back. They really only broke 2 there to start with, but I'm impressed with how they then quickly ran somebody else up. Rose-Hulman got a little lucky on that possession as they were pretty exposed on the backside.
And despite having more numbers, Hanover moved the ball pretty quickly down the half, but couldn't get a shot. Riley Heasley gets it to Beatty. And now Gibson wearing the captain's armband. Gibson will get it back. Nearly ran into her own teammate, which would have caused some problems, but Rose-Hulman can move the ball towards the other side of the field.
Been pretty impressed with Rose-Hulman's ability to keep possession in those circumstances thus far.
Quick one-touch pass down the left wing. Ball stays in play. Looking for a cross into the box. Here comes one. Knocked away by Hanover. Beatty can get back on it. Was dispossessed. Hanover tries to knock it forward, but there's nobody there. The only player in the opposing half is Cook right now, and she was nowhere near that attempted pass.
It almost feels like Hanover's a little on their heels right now. They're not pushing forward. They're playing in a defensive shell. And you got to give Rose-Hulman credit. They really continue to put the pressure on.
They have clearly stuck to a game plan so far and have executed it quite well to this point and have had the better of the chances. Although both teams have gotten pretty close. One crossbar already hit by Hanover. And Kyra Hicks already with a few shots on target.
And some good pressure there by Gibson, not just letting the defender get the ball and then send it forward. They're really applying that high press, and it's paying dividends so far, although a foul there in midfield.
Free kick, and now we can see Hanover really push numbers. And quickly taking, looking for Cook on the long ball. It seems like that's going to be the option if the ball is in the Hanover half for a good chunk of this match.
Choi has really been a bother so far in the middle for Rose Holman. She's really playing well and all over the place.
Marquardt with a great move over to the far side. Her cross may have been impeded and is sent away. And now here is Beth Cook. Cook, the senior, the reigning HCAC Offensive Player of the Year. She's done it in back-to-back years. Beatty opts to go back to the keeper. Dory can take it, but a turnover. The Panthers get right back on it, courtesy of Nora Ludwig. Ludwig trying to take it to her left. A nice move to get it to her right. Ludwig, a dangerous cross towards the back post, headed away, still in the box, not out of trouble. But Dory comes on, steps up off her line to clear the danger.
Good job by Rose Holman there, limiting the damage. Not a great turnover by Dore. Probably should have kept it at her feet for a little bit, looked for a clearer angle, but good defensive recovery by the Fighting Engineers.
Dore, a senior keeper, the experience matters, and we saw that firsthand, stepping up off her line to limit the threat. Shermer with a good move to get it to Gill. And now we can see Hanover as the right back, Finiseth, is stepping up a little bit more. And the Panthers with a lot more numbers in the attacking half. Nice move from Cook, looking for Gill. Her pass a little too heavy. Dore recognized that. Came up and grabbed it with both hands.
Good idea, and Gill just barely couldn't get on the end of that one. You can see on the shot attempt here, a good effort by Johnson to try to get a shot on goal, but it kind of weakly came off her foot, and a nice job by Dore to be Johnny on the spot with the save.
Callan Johnson in her 5th year, listed as both a midfielder and a forward. Transfer from Belmont Abbey. She scored a goal and an assist there in 22 games started 2 years ago.
Folks, Boilermaker Local 374 represents highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. When you need a safe, dependable workforce for a new build, an upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Boilermakers Union Local 374 to do the job right the first time.
Throw in for the Panthers. They've been much better in the last 3 or 4 minutes after Rose Holman was really frustrating them with the high press, but now the Fighting Engineers kind of settling into their own half. And they may be for a good chunk of this match, considering Hanover is the much better team offensively coming into the night.
Hanover being a little more aggressive now in their own defensive end. They're not letting Rose Holman get as deep. They're not being as passive in the way that they're playing, and feels like they just turned that pressure up a couple minutes ago.
Erin Terry with a good pass looking for Shermer, but she nearly stepped on the ball. And now Rose Holman can try and work it out of their own half. But Terry does well to step up and win it back. Erin Terry outnumbered. Now Hicks with an opportunity to make something happen, but ball stripped behind her. Hanover can reset. They really like these balls over the top, and now Cook can chase. Cook not quite going to win the battle. Well done by Camille Clark, who has played all 810 minutes coming into the night. Only player, obviously, other than the keeper and Dore to do so. She's going to be tasked with dealing with Beth Cook for the entire night. That is not an easy responsibility. Nice move by Choi, looking across the field.
It does feel like Rose Holman feeling a little bit more pressure now. They aren't pushing quite as far forward, and I think that's a direct response to what Hanover's trying to do right now.
Sent ahead by Gibson for Choi. Now ahead to Hicks, but her left-footed pass wasn't on the mark. It'll roll all the way back towards the corner flag and turn into a throw as Lauren Rainbolt gets ready to sub in, and she will give the penny to Callan Johnson. Rainbolt, who scored the game-winning goal last year in the HCAC Championship in extra time, just 1 goal this year compared to 6 a year ago. She has started in 5 of the previous 9 matches. This will be her 5th appearance off the bench. Here's Beatty with plenty of room. Wasn't on the same page as a teammate, but Garcia steps up to keep it in the half for now. Not a ton of whistles so far in the first 20 minutes or so. Both teams very comfortable moving the ball up and down the field quickly. Hicks looking to get that goal-scoring form she had last year. Netted 10 a year ago, but just 2 goals and an assist so far. And here's
a little dangerous play there by Shermer, and a free kick coming at a pretty advantageous spot for Rose Holman. Well, these set pieces, as we talked about before the game, Austin, are going to be really important. We've already seen Rose Holman almost score off a corner. What can they do on this free kick?
Hicks got that 6-2 frame right in the middle. Making a run. It turns into a shot, and it's in! Oh, my goodness!
What a free kick there, I believe, by Camille Clark. That one was always destined to hit the goal mouth, and I think it just absolutely tricked Emma Patterson. She didn't quite judge the trajectory correctly.
That is some goal. This is a shot all the way through. Patterson gets her right hand on it, but that was all. And how about that for a goal? Just about the halfway point of this first half. Rose Holman, who have really felt like they've been the better team throughout. We mentioned at the top of the show that Rose Holman going to want to convert on those set pieces. They nearly scored on their first corner and on their first free kick. A bullet into the back of the net from some 40 yards out.
Camille Clark's second goal of the season, I believe. And, I mean, you can't get much better than that. You're 40 yards out. You uncork something like that, it completely changes the overall complexion of the game. We got a different look at this, and you can see, again, just a beautiful trajectory. I mean, that's either going in the side of the goal or it's glancing off the hand of the keeper and it's going in the top. Either way, they don't get much better than that, Austin.
Clark, now her second goal, tied for the team lead.
We've got
Rose Holman temporary playing with 10.
Yeah, Kiana Martin looks like a bloody nose, so she cannot be out on the field, and we're going to have to wait until that ceases bleeding, obviously, before she could come back in. So we're either going to see a substitution or they'll play a player down. Goal kick here, obviously, for Rose Holman. And it looks like they're going to bring in a new face into the game. That is number 21, Emma Johns.
She's appeared in now all 10 matches off the bench this year. Now Johns has to give up the penny in return, as Martin still got the paper towel up her right nostril, so she is currently unavailable.
The nice thing about soccer at the collegiate level is you can get subbed out, Austin, and still come back in later.
Yes. Hicks heads it ahead.
You got to think that goal, just a huge psychological benefit for Rose Holman. You came in knowing that you don't score a lot, your opponent scores a lot. To be able to take a 1-0 lead early on in the contest now allows you to play a lot more conservatively. You don't have to take as many chances. You can pack the defense in as necessary. You're probably going to need to score another goal to make sure that you're safe against a team like Hanover, but much easier on the psyche with one already in the bag.
Throw in for Hanover. You could tell moving with a little bit more urgency after conceding the first goal. Hanover won 6-0 against Bluffton on Saturday, as Dory comes out to clean up the loose scraps. They won 6-0 on senior day. They're now doing with a deficit on the road at Rose Holman. Looking to start 3-0, but will have to come from behind in this one.
It's interesting, they've moved Hicks a little bit back now in the formation. She's dipping back a bit more, trying to help maintain possession, not so much the point of the spear like she was for the first 15 minutes.
Almost playing a little bit more in the midfield. There's a chance for Emma Gill. We've seen her utilize her speed on the right. Now she'll do so on the left. Gill looking to get it, but was outnumbered 1v2. Gill gets it back. Opts to play it behind her. The pass Didn't quite have enough on it, but it gets knocked out of play. Was looking for Castiglione. Here's Rainbolt off the bench. A dangerous cross. The first cross was not sent away, but the shot afterwards went over the target, and it'll be a goal kick for Dore.
Delivering care with more than 24 years of experience is Passion to Care. As a prestige health company, Passion to Care is driven by decades of expertise and a drive to go above and beyond. Call Passion to Care today at 317-537-1811.
Goal kicks which have been taken not by Dore this night and this season. That ball goes out of play. It'll be a Rose-Hulman throw with Emma Johns now on after Martin had a bloody nose. She's still on the pitch. Beatty knocks it up ahead. This could be dangerous here for Hicks, but John Patterson does a good job coming off of her line.
I got to say, Austin, Hanover's lucky they're not down a couple of goals at this point. Between the near Olympico earlier, Hicks being in some good position, and that was a couple of feet away from her being able to get on the end of that and really make life difficult for Patterson. You can see here, just that takes a funny bounce off ahead, and it just feels like Hanover's off right now in a lot of what they're doing, and give Rose-Hulman a lot of credit. They're capitalizing.
Hicks with those long strides. Patterson has to be ready. And those decisions are split-second ones. Rainbow plays it ahead for Cook. Beth Cook looking to turn, but taken away. It almost seems like Hanover's a team that's sitting back right now, trying to avoid conceding a second. A little bit of hesitancy from Bettner, but she gets the ball away. Cook, a nice pass back. Ball sent ahead. Looking for Emma Gill. Turning, looking for an option, has Cook. A ball ahead looking for Rainbolt, but didn't quite have enough on it. Fighting Engineers looking to get the ball out of their own half. That ball stays in play. Gill crossed it into the box. Nobody is quite there. And the Engineers can sweep it away.
That was a really nice intervention by Taylor Beatty. Was watching the play, saw the danger with the ball, and rushed right over, was able to clear it out without a whole lot of trouble. That could have been a real problem given where that ball was located.
It's a throw-in for the Engineers. They're going to back up a few steps. Plenty of space for the Panthers to utilize. Here's Gill. Muscled off the ball, but illegally so.
Yeah, Camille Clark using the shoulder to full advantage there. That was a pretty obvious foul. But probably good for Rose-Hulman there. You get to reset the defense, and even though you got the free kick, a little too far away to do a whole lot with it directly from Hanover.
Rose-Hulman will temporarily set up a wall. As the ball goes towards the box, headed away by the Engineers. Panthers looking for a second chance opportunity, but it's sent away. Sydney Elliott, the freshman, getting ready to check in at the next stoppage for Hanover.
Going to replace Emma Gill, who's been all over the field so far in this first half. Has, I think, probably been the most active Hanover player of all of them.
It would be a well-deserved break for her. Horsley gets it to Terry. Terry into the box, looking for Cook. The pass a little heavy, but Cook catches up across, and a nice play by Dore on the short hop, almost like an outfielder, trying to prevent a ball from going to the wall. Dore does well. Her hands have been active tonight, and she'll send it away towards the halfway line. Hicks wins the header. And the ball rolls all the way back to the other keeper, and Emma Patterson.
Folks, looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years, Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service. Call today at 317-328-2555. 5.
Elliott takes the pink penny off and hands it to Gill as the two freshman forwards will swap. Cook can't win the second ball. Ball goes up in the air. Beatty can bring it down and plays it for Schuler. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a Rose-Hulman throw. The Fighting Engineers have not been slowing down whatsoever, even with a goal to the good. They have been pushing for a second. As a handball is called, it will be a Panther free kick in their own half.
It was not a call that Riley Heasley thought was fair. She did not think that the ball hit her hand, but the referee saw it differently. I'd say Rose-Hulman has made generally very good decisions about where the ball needs to go. They've managed to keep possession at the right times. They've rarely gotten themselves into spots where Hanover's had a clear advantage, although this might be one of those now.
Not in Dory's mind. She comes out and picks the ball up. She's been reading those long balls very well from Hanover. Clearly did her homework and studying the Panthers' offense.
You just cannot underestimate the value of a seasoned goalkeeper at any level of soccer, like not just the saves, but as you said, running out, knowing when to come out, knowing not when to come out, being able to command your defense to be in the right positions. And that really only comes with experience at the level that you're playing at.
Plays like that don't count as saves in the scorebook, but every coach knows how important it is. Here's a shot from distance, but right into the breadbasket of Dore. Shot came from Cam Horsley, sophomore from Mooresville.
We'd call that a speculative effort. There was not a lot behind that, and really too far away for it to really be much of a threat to Dore. She handled that easily.
Yeah, Horsley maybe saw the 40-yard free kick go in and said, maybe I'll try one myself.
Everybody wants to get in on the action. I understand.
We've all had dreams of scoring goals like that.
Delusions of grandeur, I think is what you would call that. And I say that as someone who took too many long shots in his all-too-short career in the game.
Horsley outnumbered 1-on-2. Everyone looks at the official. It will be a throw-in for Rose-Hulman as both teams make substitutions. Hicks comes out.
Yeah, Alex Adams coming in for Kara Hicks.
And on the flip side, Lillian Mullenkamp, freshman, comes in for the visitors, who trail 1-0. Here's Mullenkamp, a nice move to her left, picks her head up, finds Heasley. Adams got dispossessed.
Little danger here for Rose-Hulman.
Hanover has numbers for it if they want to utilize. Horsley trying to play that ball, but a great run by Beatty.
Not a great weighted ball there, as it looked like a really good chance for Hanover, but just couldn't quite get the pass right.
Martin coming into getting ready to re-enter after she exited for about 10 minutes or so, the bloody nose.
A little too much juice on that one there from Sydney Schuler.
She was looking for Adams. Adams wins the ball back. A nice pass towards the top of the 18-yard box. Body's going to the ground. Play continuing. Engineers send one high into the night. Rainbolt getting turned around. Plays a wise ball to Horsley. Now looking back for Rainbolt. Was dispossessed. Space in the middle here. Oh, quick one touch pass. Adams wasn't on the same page, wasn't ready for it. Every time Hanover tries to move the ball out, the opposing defender from Rose-Hulman immediately steps up, but that time Garcia committed the foul. Hanover moving quickly, getting it to Beth Cook. She goes down. Referee points at the ball and says the ball was won. Encourages Cook to get up. It will be another Hanover throw.
Another really quick intervention by Rose-Hulman defensively, as they have bottled up the play of Beth Cook so far.
Well done by Adams. A give and go between Adams and Emma Johns, but the ball ends up going out of play. There wasn't quite enough room on the near side. Nice turn by Cook. Cook looking for the give and go, but Garcia was right there in the middle.
A lot of chatter coming from the sidelines here. Both teams realizing how important it's going to be to finish off this first half strong. Rose-Hulman clearly would love to maintain or extend this 1-0 lead, and Hanover just wants to get this thing tied up so they can have something else to talk about at halftime.
Feels like they don't even have a shot on goal yet. They did hit the crossbar earlier.
Well, they had the one shot on goal earlier at the very beginning of the game.
Yes, the roller too. And there's one other shot. That one just goes wide for Dore.
Folks, for more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have consistently been the trusted allies for all of your inventory management, warehousing, fulfillment, and transportation needs. They stand as your comprehensive logistics partner. Ride with us today at 317-396-1023.
Riley Heasley comes off. Hanover also makes a substitution as Izzy Phillips, the freshman, comes into the game with 220 minutes under her belt, and Horsley checks out. That goal kick all the way out of play without anyone touching it, so it's a Hanover throw. Cook looking to turn to her right, was dispossessed. Here comes Adams the other way. Alex Adams, plenty of room on the right. Has an option behind her. Adams holds and now plays it back for Schuler. Sydney Schuler trying to cross it, but immediately met by Phillips, who just checked into the game.
Schuler, one of the now 3 Rose-Hulman players with 2 goals, as obviously we had another member added to the mix earlier on today with that free kick from Camille Clark. But Schuler out there trying to mix things up. And I tell you, Adams has been really active so far since she entered the game.
Holman will have a throw. Both teams with 6 shots to this point. Holman will be very much the happier of the 2 sides if this is the scoreline going into the break. Cook plays it over to Ward. Fighting Engineers just cleared all the way down. They're happy to do that. And then pressure right afterwards as they push numbers into the opposing half. That creates an easy ball for Garcia. Looking to her right. Well, there was plenty of space. Couldn't connect with Schuler. That ball goes out of play. Mullenkamp couldn't catch up to it.
It'll be interesting to see if Rose-Hulman really continues to push here to try to pick up a goal, or if they just try to burn out some clock over the last 6.5 minutes of this half. There's merits to both approaches. You've managed to keep Hanover bottled up so far offensively. They've gotten a couple of looks at goal, but nothing really outstanding. And you'd hate to yield one here at the very end of the half with as well as you've played the rest of the time.
Panthers throw here. On camp to Elliott. Now back to the 2 center backs. Ball played over to the far side, looking for Shermer. Room on the right for Sydney Schuler. Schuler opting to go to her right. Blows right by Mullenkamp, who concedes the throw. Just 5.5 left in this first half. The hosts leading 1-0. Rose-Hulman looking for their second win in HCAC play this year. And a shot was maybe partially blocked as Alex Adams, who's had a very strong first half, fell to the ground afterwards.
A tough turnaround shot there by Adams. That's always hard. Your momentum's going entirely one direction. You got to completely swing it around the other direction, sight the goal, wait the shot. It's a big order for almost everybody. Folks, help us put more student athletes on TV by logging on to IndianaSRN.org and directing your donation to a specific school or hit the donate button. More games, more opportunity for our kids. That's on IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Mullenkamp, who got a few minutes now, comes off, replaced by Annabeth Hawkins, junior from Versailles, Kentucky.
I'm actually curious if it's Versailles or Versailles, Kentucky, given the Indiana version is Versailles.
Cross into the box, dangerous. Would have been a free header for Emma Johns, who has come off the bench. No goals or assists this year for Johns.
First really threatening opportunity for Rose-Hulman there since the free kick. They've kind of let off the gas a little bit, focused on defense, but it was a really nice run by Johns right down the middle of the pitch.
Rose-Hulman tonight came in with just 6 goals and 5 assists as a team. They still only have 4 goal scorers as Camille Clark potted her second of the year. Clever move from Garcia. Now Taylor Beatty slowing the ball down, trying to play it all the way across, didn't quite get there. And Hanover just thumps it forward. We'll try and send numbers as this ball just slowly rolling and rolling towards the corner flag. It will stay in play, almost like a punt, and you just get your entire team on the other half of the field looking to press up, and that's what can come of it. It's a throw for Hanover.
Last push here maybe by Hanover of the half, but a really good opportunity for them. Their passes have just been a bit off in the final third, Austin. They've had some good individual efforts, but they've struggled to make the connections that Rose-Hulman's been making on the other end.
And they know that whenever they do get the ball, Rose-Hulman is going to pressure them quickly. The ball deflected off of Schuler, sends it near the box, dealt with by the Panthers, and they get it forward. Rainbolt, quick pass, trying to get it back from Elliott. Nice pass towards the middle. Could see a shot. There is one, but it is just high. It was destined for that top right corner.
Had a couple good options there. I don't blame Adams for uncorking it. You can see here, got a nice bit of possession about 20 yards out, just couldn't quite keep it down. But you see Schuler there on the right side. She squares that over, and you got one of your leading goal scorers with maybe an open look at the goal mouth.
Adams found the window between the two defenders, but maybe didn't hear the shout from her teammate that there may have been a better play and a better sighted goal. Beatty takes it back for Rose-Hulman. About 100 seconds to go in this first half. Fighting Engineers looking for a second. Hanover really looking for another good effort on goal. They've really only had 2. One shot on goal and then one off the crossbar earlier from Emma Gill, who's now on the bench. Marquardt, who's been a force down that left wing, plays it ahead to Adams. She's going to take a shot with the other foot this time. And that one not as a little bit more wide of the goal.
On the one hand, you don't like necessarily the shot there with the left foot at that angle. On the other hand, you probably don't have enough time to do much else. A lot of defenders around Adams there.
A minute to go in this first half with Rose-Hulman up by a goal towards the corner flag. That ball rolls out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for Hanover. That may be the last chance for Rose-Hulman in this first 45, but you have to be very pleased with the way Rose-Hulman has played. Obviously, their non-conference slate, maybe not to the way they've wanted, but the last few matches certainly have been a lot better. 2-1-1 over the last 4. And it looks like they're going to go into the break leading by 1 against the HCAC's top team in the preseason poll and in the standings right now in the Hanover Panthers.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman has to be immensely pleased with the way this half went. And Emma Johns, agent of chaos out there for the Fighting Engineers, trying to get one last attempt, but that's going to lead to the halftime siren, I guess, here.
That's a new one.
But a great half for the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. They lead 1-0 over the Hanover Panthers. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll break down the statistics from the first half and talk through what to expect in the second half here on RHIT.TV.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
An active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Soccer Stadium. Galen Clavio and Austin Platt joining you here on RHIT.TV from Terre Haute, Indiana. And a surprising start to this contest as we are at halftime, and it's Rose-Hulman 1, Hanover 0. Austin, we talked in the pregame about how Hanover was the more powerful offensive team. Rose-Hulman was going to have to try and nick a goal. That has not been how it's gone at all.
Nope, and that's why you should never trust anything we say, right? I mean, this match completely not the way we intended. I mentioned it, but Rose-Hulman came with a plan. They wanted to really muck up things in the midfield, create a lot of pressure for Hanover, not making it easy for them to send the ball forward. When Hanover has, it's kind of been all the way up the field, and instead of advancing the ball slowly but surely, been a lot of long balls over the top, and 10 shots to 6 in favor of Rose-Hulman after that first half, and the goal, a marvelous one from Camille Clark on the free kick from 40 yards out, something you just don't see every day of the week, and just found the top corner as Patterson only got fingertips to it, but couldn't make a save. Other than that, the corners have been 2-0 for Rose-Hulman. Fouls and saves have been basically identical, so it's just the possession has really been a lot of Rose-Hulman, and they've had the better chances.
When we started this game, one of the things that was really fascinating was looking at how Rose-Hulman was starting to attack this Hanover defense. They were really trying to play down that left wing to start with, and they've really taken advantage of the personnel sets that they've had at the moment. With Kira Hicks in the contest, they're doing a lot of crossing. They're trying to get the ball into her head space, and it almost worked a couple of times. They were able to capitalize on, or nearly capitalize on, the corner kick that they had early on in the contest. But as they've changed personnel, they've kind of rippled and altered their approach, and Hanover's been on the back heel the whole time. As you mentioned, 10 shots overall for Rose-Hulman, only 6 for Hanover, and a lot of that has been because of the defensive interventions that we've seen out of this Fighting Engineers squad. They have really swarmed on the ball whenever anybody's gotten in there. There have not been a lot of passing lanes and opportunities for Hanover thus far, and it's made for a pretty herky-jerky game on that side, whereas on the Rose-Hulman offensive end, it's been pretty fluid, pretty smooth. You got to like the kind of free-flowing offense they've been able to establish quite unexpectedly given the struggles they've had offensively so far this year.
Yeah, you have to give credit. I think the substitutions that Rose-Hulman made, I think almost changed the way the Fighting Engineers looked at this match and said, you know what, we're not going to really push down the left. We're not going to do that as much. We're going to try on the right with Alex Adams, who has 3 shots, Emma Johns, who's been a good contributor. She only played it at 9 minutes because of the nosebleed to Kiana Martin, or rather it was Choi, I believe, to come off. Regardless, it was the substitutions I thought really did a good job for Rose-Hulman, almost changing things up, and you're not targeting Hicks as much as it was in the first 20 minutes, and really just looking for someone like Adams in the middle who can fire a shot from distance, because they have moved Patterson around quite a bit.
So if you're Hanover going into this second half, what do you do differently to try to break down this Rose-Hulman defense and get on the scoreboard?
Yeah, they were really trying for those long balls over the top, and I almost think you have to try and press Rose-Hulman when they have the ball, assuming they do get some chances to kind of sit in Hanover's half. But I think almost kind of change the tide a little bit and change what Rose-Hulman, flip the script as to what they did to you, and try and pressure them and get the ball, because they have been moving Beth Cook around. I mean, I would imagine see the number of steps she took as she was over on the far side, over on the near side, in the box on the left. She had 1 shot early on, which was an easy save for Dore. So I think almost try and pressure Rose-Hulman and change things up, because when they have possession, it hasn't been for very long because Rose-Hulman has pushed up so much. So I think maybe some quicker passes as well. It feels like Hanover was a little bit shaken by the way Rose-Hulman came out. Weren't expecting the press and weren't getting the right passes. So maybe slowing things down, shortening the passes, and I'd say increase the pressure on the other end as well. They have to chase the game now.
As far as Rose-Hulman's concerned, you want to say on the one hand, keep doing what you're doing, obviously, because it's working to some degree, but you're going to have to expect a pretty significant amount of offensive pressure coming out of this Hanover squad in the second half. You got to be prepared to absorb that and then take advantage of opportunities as you can. I really liked what Emma Johns was able to do out there. I really liked what Adams was able to do out there, as those 2 substitutes really stretched the field. They were not afraid to take runs. Same thing with Sydney Schuler, as they were able to really push Hanover back defensively I think they're going to need that because I am guessing a lot of the second half is going to be played in Rose-Hulman's end as Hanover tries to manufacture a goal.
Yeah, I think the way you could tell with Hanover and their substitutions, they weren't expecting or maybe ready for this game to be stretched out as much as it was, and a lot of players had to run up and down the pitch quite a bit, which maybe didn't work to their advantage. Maybe that's signaled by the 6 substitutions they made in that half.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the start of the second half. Again, it is 1-0. Rose-Hulman leading Hanover here at Rose-Hulman Soccer Field in Terre Haute, Indiana. For Austin Platt, I'm Galen Clavio. We'll be back right after this.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
That's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN.
Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back for the second half of action at Rose-Hulman Soccer Field. Galen Clavio, Austin Platt joining you. Let's go ahead and bring you our title sponsors for today's broadcast. This broadcast brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment, by Passion to Care, Boilermakers Local 374, Wheeler Mission, Burtner Electric, Morales Group Staffing, McKinley Wrights, Indiana Laborers District Council, and IndianaSRN Sports Page. Little reset here on RHIT.TV with about 25 seconds left until the start of this second half. 1-0, Rose-Hulman leading Hanover. A surprise so far as these two teams on opposite sides of the overall record table, 7-2 versus only 2 wins so far for Rose-Hulman. The Fighting Engineers would love to pick up their third win, love to pick up another win in HCAC conference play. They are 45 minutes away from doing it. Austin Platt, I hand it back over to you for play-by-play here in the second half. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Galen. First half shots were 10-6 in favor of Rose-Hulman. It was 6-6 at one point with like 10 minutes left, and then Rose-Hulman really kept firing away, looking for that second goal, but we'll still be pleased with Camille Clark's laser, really, from 40 yards out on a free kick. Both teams breaking their huddles.
Obviously going opposite directions, so we will have Hanover going left to right here and Rose-Hulman going right to left. There's basically no win tonight. This is about as nice of a night. I tell you, after you get done watching this stream, I would advise you to go out, take a walk. If you're in Indiana, you might hear some owls or something like that. It is about as perfect of an early fall evening as you could draw up.
Good night to get the bonfire going.
Yeah.
Some s'mores.
Some marshmallows. Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing better than that.
Yeah. Pull the TV out on the deck. Maybe watch this broadcast you're doing right now. I guess you could do the laptop.
Yeah, that works
out
too.
On the deck. That works just as well.
Get the double screen going.
I wasn't lying. There's no wind. The flags have not moved since we got here an hour and a half ago. A nice facility here at Rose-Hulman, and really one of those situations, obviously, where you are really fascinated to see how both these teams respond. Hanover looking on their heels for most of that first half, and I think a bit taken aback by how aggressive this Rose-Hulman squad has been. And then there's always the danger when you are the underdog in a soccer match, Austin. How much do you keep that aggression up? When do you let up? You don't want to work yourself into a position where you run out of energy at the end. And so a lot of really interesting things going to happen here in this second half, I think.
Well, Hanover will get things started. Playing definitely a reactionary first half. Really just surprised by what Rose-Hulman brought to the table. Schreimer looking up ahead for Callan Johnson, but that ball quickly out of play.
Hanover trying to set up and stretch the field a little bit, but a nice intervention there by Schuler, who starts this second half.
Came off the bench in the first half, gets another chance at this cross. Goes down to the pitch. Hanover clears the initial ball for now, but ball last goes off of Gill. It'll be a throw-in for Rose-Hulman, taking it quickly. Brooks loses the ball. Here comes Schreimer trying to outstretch that right foot of hers, but can't pick up the ball. We saw a very back and forth paced first half. Both teams running up and down. And neither really were settling in too much. The ball over the top. We saw Hicks with a few good looks in the first half, one with her head and one with her foot, but neither could find the target. Hicks with a great ball and a shot by Adams, who had a good first half, was deflected, and it will be Rose-Hulman's third corner of the night.
And you can see the goal from the first half. Camille Clark with the free kick, arcing in and unable to handle it there was Patterson. Back to the play live here. Adams this time settles it and tries to get it on her stronger foot. And it had a better outcome this time, Austin, as it ends up generating a corner kick.
Both corners were dangerous in the first half. This one, first the second half, not so much, but Rose-Hulman does well to get the second ball. Back out wide. Another corner, dangerous. And Patterson, through traffic, brings it in after bouncing it up once.
Yeah, spilled it a little bit there, it looked like right at the beginning, but did a nice job of stabilizing and getting possession of that ball.
Ball out wide. Marquardt, who was a force on the left in the first 15 or so minutes in the first half. Ball was out of her reach. Now Hanover trying to shorten the passes. That ball was in the middle, a little bit dangerous.
Well, if we thought the aggression was going to go away from Rose-Hulman in the second half, it has not. They have been right up in Hanover's business so far.
A shot here, curling, but just wide from Marquardt.
I think it's going to be important for Rose-Hulman. You don't really want to sit back against a team that's offensively gifted like Hanover and just invite pressure. And again, if you've already proven that you can apply that pressure yourself, you just make it hard for Hanover to get anything going. They still haven't had a possession in the final third, and we're already almost 5 minutes done in this second half.
It was not a park the bus situation, as one would say. Adams trying to bob and weave her way through the entire Hanover back line, but Schreimer said that's enough and sent it back to Patterson, the junior goalkeeper. Reigning HCAC Defensive Player of the Week. She made 5 saves in 75 minutes in the 6-0 win over Bluffton over the weekend on Senior Day.
Rose-Hulman really trying to push tempo as well as pressure as they've been starting the ball quickly. They've been trying to get the ball back in off of throws, and they force a corner as a result of that.
Their fourth one of the night as the Engineers get all their players ready in the box. It will be Marquardt to send it in. Obviously the big option in the middle is Hicks. She towers over really anybody else around her. Marquardt, good ball towards the back post. Nearly bumbled over the line. It's cleared out by Hanover. The second shot, line drive, but wide to the left, and Hanover can take a sigh of relief.
Hanover just got to feel lucky they didn't let another one in. A couple of really good opportunities for the Fighting Engineers, and they continue to make Hanover feel uncomfortable so far in this half.
Ball has barely been on this side of the field, and it will be another Rose-Hulman throw.
Folks at Officially Human, our mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and courts. Do your part and practice good sportsmanship. If we don't have officials, we can't play.
Allie Smith trying to get it ahead for Hicks. Adams plays it out wide. Now towards the right wing. Across into the box, headed down, but not in the right direction by Hicks. Garcia gets it taken away, and here comes Beth Cook. Cook looking for options. She has Gill all the way to her left. Cook weaving towards her left, now back to her right. Cook, we saw her take a shot in a similar situation in the first half, but turning around, peeling, could have a go on her left. Back out, a cross and a deflection, but offsides as the linesman on the near side raises his flag, but a good spell for Hanover, getting the ball to Cook, and she can just make magic happen wherever.
A nice job by Allie Smith, the defender, sprinting back and getting into position and making that a 1-on-2 situation.
Schreimer, who started the first half, played in 22 minutes. Kaylee Shermer, that is. Cook picks it up. Cook trying to get it on that favored right foot, but really well done by Camille Clark to just use her body and muscle Cook away from the ball. Hicks picks it up. Now to Marquardt. Nice step over move. Has Hicks, who can streak down this left wing. Hicks with those long strides, a heavy touch trying to get her on one, but she gets her on a second. Hicks with a shot. It was curling, but curling away from goal.
And the moment that came off her foot, I was like, I think she might have gotten that in the top corner, but just a bit off, and you can see here on the replay, really nice job by Hicks, setting herself, and you can see that angle. I mean, Hanover, again, has to feel lucky that there was just a little bit off there on that.
They didn't quite get her balance necessarily there. She kind of overcorrected and got her right foot around the ball a little too much. But still, if you're Rose Holman, anytime you can get 32 with a chance, potentially like one right now, but it's cleared away, then you have to feel pretty good about yourself.
Well, we had that one stretch of pressure there about a minute ago from Hanover, and you're thinking, well, maybe this is when they're coming in and really starting to assert themselves. It didn't happen. Now we got Rose Holman back on the offensive attack again.
A tussle near the corner flag, and a foul is going to be called in the very end.
Folks, wall-to-wall sports news every day on IndianaSRN sports page. High school, college, pro sports, we have it all. Check it out at IndianaSRN.org and click on the Sports Page tab. Stay informed with the IndianaSRN Sports Page.
Shermer wins the ball. Smith looking for a through ball, and here comes Cook. Shermer racing towards the box. Beth Cook trying to win the ball, but it goes out of play. Well done by Rose Holman right back, who has a little bit of a size advantage on Cook as well. And now Mullenkamp, who is in on the first half, comes in.
Brooke Ward taking a seat.
Mullenkamp saw 9 minutes in the first half. Low cross into the box. No Panthers there. Second one towards a dangerous position. Rose Holman clears it out. The second clearance was pretty good as well. That ball still stays in play. And a good job by Marquardt to step up with it. Lauren Marquardt running down the left, now back towards the middle, trying to switch the play, and she does that successfully. Rose Holman with a chance to potentially strike on the counterattack. A good move, a shot, was off the head of a Panther.
But that came off Erin Terry, and that was an important intervention as Rose Holman coming off a nice move there. Looked like they had the potential of an open shot in the box, but Terry gets her head in the way.
Cook actually trying to bounce the ball in her head like a dolphin, but can't quite do so successfully.
Do dolphins use their heads or their nose?
Their nose. It's their nose, but it's a similar looking action. Wasn't successful either way. Adams gets it back. Hanover's able to take it away. And there is some space and a big collision right in the middle of the pitch near the center circle, and a foul is called.
That was Schuler. I think Schuler was like, well, wait, that looked like mutual contact. I didn't foul her. We just ran into each other, but the official feels differently. And you got to give the offensive player a little bit of the benefit of the doubt there, certainly.
Referee did just that. Now Hanover, who wanted to play it quickly off the restart, as Shermer immediately put the ball down, but instead we'll see a free kick here. Not in a position where you could score directly, but a chance in the box could lead to something. Here's a chance for the freshman. The shot was blocked.
That was really, really well done by Camille Clark. Gets her body right in the middle of that and knocks it out of play. You'll take that corner any day of the week.
Gill had the chance. The ball was kind of loose. The initial clearance fell right to her. She took it onto her right. This is definitely going to be a tough angle as Dory was getting ready.
Cam Horsley coming back in now for Hanover, and she'll replace Kaylee Shermer. And looks like they're going to have Horsley come right off the bench and take this corner.
Seems like the right time for the left footer. Players queue up for the in-swinger. Towards the near post. Now towards the middle. Nobody can quite clear it out. Gill had a chance, but it was knocked away, and the referee bails them out with a whistle.
It was a good idea there on the in-swinger, but a really nice job by Rose Holman. They gunk up the holes, and they're able to clear it out. Well, folks, just a reminder, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana, we are LIUNA.
Clark sends it ahead. Panthers recover right in the center circle. Here's Horsley. Back to Molenkamp. Molenkamp with it again. Looking for options. Opts to send it forward. Ball was a little too strong for Johnson. Horsley again gets it to Gill. Dispossessed immediately by Smith.
Yeah, it's a really nice job by Allie Smith. He's had several good defensive plays so far in this contest.
You can hear both benches really urging their teams on as we approach the hour mark. First half goal from Camille Clark. It's the difference right now for Rose Holman. Hicks sends it all the way out wide for Taylor Beatty. She had a strong first half, makes a nice move. Panthers recover. Horsley almost urging on Gill to make a run, but instead played it shorter, and that allowed Garcia to step up and send the ball back towards the Hanover half. Annie Garcia has done a great job stepping up when needed from the back line. Hicks with a strong ball over the top, going to be a long run for Adams. She does successfully keep it in. Ball is still in play dangerously over near the byline. And finally, it goes out. It'll be a throw-in for Rose Holman just inside the Hanover half.
Hanover's missed a lot of defensive interceptions on the ball. It's really given Rose Holman an opportunity to maintain and extend offensive possessions that they might not otherwise.
Gill nearly had a chance to run with it on her own, but Smith just squeezed it past her. It's been a fun matchup between Gill and Smith. Gill trying to play the ball over to Horsley. Kiana Martin there, reading it. Goes back to Dore. Dore, a dangerous pass. Hanover really increased the pressure there, and there were a pair of Panthers getting ready to pounce.
Rose Holman has done a laudable job so far of avoiding silly mistakes with the ball. That was nearly a mistake that cost them a goal. 3 Panthers right there, and very lucky to get that out without any issues.
Brooks plays it out wide. An attempted clearance goes well out of play.
I'm a little surprised Hanover isn't doing more to try to maintain possession on these as opposed to just knocking it out of bounds. It's giving Rose-Hulman, a chance to chew clock as they slowly run up to take these throws, but it's also extending their offensive possessions in a different way from what we talked about earlier. It just, at this point, Hanover almost really just, they're on their back heels. They're having a real hard time gaining control of the game. Maybe with some of these substitutions, we'll see that change as Sydney Elliott comes into the contest for Hanover, as does Brooke Ward. And then we've got Emma Johns coming back in as well for Rose-Hulman alongside Katie Choi. So now we see Rose-Hulman kind of go back to the speed and some of the smaller players out there where they had a lot of success in the second part of the first half.
Hanover has really not had any answers to this point for the way Rose-Hulman has played. As you mentioned, with under half an hour left, the clock is on the side of the hosts. Battle for the ball in the middle of the Hanover half, won by the Panthers. They'll send it ahead. Looking for Elliott. Elliott outnumbered 1-on-2. Pass back to the keeper. Dore has to step up. Not the most convincing of clearances, but it does the job.
As good as Dore's been in goal the few times she's been tested, the passing's getting a little sloppy back there, and you just hate to see Rose-Hulman put themselves in a position where they waste all this good effort so far with a misplaced pass. So probably just settle down a little bit. She'll be fine.
Kind of see with the free kicks as well that are inside of Rose-Hulman's box. It hasn't been Dore to take them. It's been some of the outfield players as Beth Cook just kind of got a little bit of a rest there talking with James Watts, her head coach. Marquardt gets it back. Now into the middle. Crossed into a ton, but now Lauren Rainbolt, fresh off the bench, can play it to Cook. A great pass to Beth Cook. We've seen Cook go to her left and to her right. Cook from her left to her right into the box. Beth Cook, big save, and it's cleared away.
What an effort by Dore to save that, and very lucky that on the rebound it didn't go into the corner of the goal. You'll see the replay here, and just a brilliant individual effort by Beth Cook. Does everything right to the finish, but hits Dore right in the face, and then a good intervention on the back end there. I think that was Taylor Beatty. Rose-Hulman has to take a deep breath there as almost the entire game came undone on that one possession.
Adams comes back in for Allie Smith. And we'll see a Hanover corner in response to the melee in front of the net. High arcing ball towards the center. And the ball goes out of play, and it will be a goal kick for Dore.
Folks, help us put more student athletes on TV by logging on to IndianaSRN.org and directing your donation to a specific school, or hit the donate button. More games, more opportunity for kids. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Sydney, I want Beth playing for line.
Rose-Hulman with about 25 minutes left in this game. You've gotten through the first part of the second half, and it feels like Hanover's starting to put some dents in this Rose-Hulman defense, not so much through sustained play, but through a lot of individual efforts.
Beth Cook can completely change the game in an instant. She nearly did that, but Dore came up big. Here's a chance for Rose-Hulman on the other end. Lauren Marquardt opting to go to her left, now towards the corner flag. That's not a bad place for Rose-Hulman to camp out. Marquardt takes the throw in quickly, trying to get it back, but Rainbolt sends it away. Adams towards a dangerous area, cleared away by the Panthers. Cook was waiting to potentially get an opportunity to break herself. Rose-Hulman has to keep the ball away from her at all costs. Rainbolt waiting for the ball to come down, trying to win the header. The ball just keeps bouncing. And Marquardt gets it back to Adams, who just came off the bench in favor of Allie Smith. Cook sends it out. It'll be Rose-Hulman's throw in front of their own bench.
You do see a lot more aggression now from Hanover pretty consistently. They're trying to pressure Rose-Hulman on the ball. I kind of wonder why they waited so long to do that. It feels like they've had that gear. They've just chosen to wait a little bit to make it happen. But give Rose-Hulman credit. They haven't been overly bothered by it as of yet.
A chance on the break potentially, but that pass was blocked, and now a race for the ball. In Rose-Hulman's half, the ball knocked around. Whose throw is it? The referee looking at the assistant who's looking back at him, and in the end it's Hanover ball, and everyone over there maybe didn't agree with it.
It's the first time we've really sensed that it's Greek night here at Rose-Hulman Soccer Field, as several of the fraternity brothers that are over there in the stands had a front row seat to that call. They didn't like it.
The official or the assistant really wanted to make the call.
Well, it was a tough spot
Yeah,
because, I mean, the assistant on the side was not really close to the play, and to be fair, a lot of ricocheting of the ball as it was heading towards the sideline. They did the best they could.
Nobody had the right depth perception. Somebody wasn't going to be happy with the call in the end, but now Rose-Hulman has a free kick.
Well,
from an interesting spot, and
we've read this book before, Austin. And it looks like, once again, we'll have Camille Clark stepping up to take this.
Well, she scored from
opposite side last time.
Yeah. And from a little farther out. This time a low shot was blocked by the wall as Cook did her job. Schuler trying to win it. And the whistle goes for a foul against Sydney Schuler. 2 goals this year, tied for a team high.
Rose-Hulman going to quickly get it going once again, and the longer the ball can stay in the middle of the field, I think the happier the Fighting Engineers are with this.
That pass didn't quite have enough on it. And Beth Hawkins stepped up. And now we'll see subs for both sides.
They got Izzy Phillips entering the game, as well as Emma Gill, and coming off the field now for Hanover will be Cam Horsley, as well as Sydney Elliott. And then looks like Sydney Schuler coming off the field for Rose-Hulman. I didn't see who came on. It was actually Jaden Gibson.
Feels like Gill and Cook have been the top 2 options for Hanover. Trying to break through this tough Rose-Hulman defense. They do win a throw here. Quick throw in by Ludwig. Ball goes towards the corner flag. It's a throw. Rainbolt will take it. Was looking quickly, but opts to just leave it.
Hanover really increasing the tempo that they're playing with. I think they're starting to feel the urgency with only about 20 minutes left.
And Beth Hawkins runs out of room, and it'll be a goal kick.
Folks, at Family Source Insurance, Pat Cherry is your independent agent representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Call him today for coverage tomorrow, 317-894-7000.
20 minutes left, separating Rose-Hulman and their second win in the HCAC this season. They came in to the night, they came into the season projected 3rd in the preseason poll. Hanover projected to win the title once again.
Allie Smith re-entering the game, replacing Alex Adams, who puts in another good shift. We also get Clara Finiseth re-entering the game, and coming off the field going to be Morgan Castiglione.
Garcia sends it as far as she can towards the center line. Rainbolt trying to play it back for Ludwig. Nora Ludwig, the junior, creating some space. Opts to go out wide for Finiseth. Just came back onto the pitch. She played all 45 minutes in the first half, and it feels like now for Hanover, you're trying to rest everyone up and almost see what can you do in the final 20 minutes, as James Watts has kind of been toying with his 11 on the pitch, almost trying to save his best weapons for the very end for one final push.
And they've still got plenty of time. It's the thing about this game. We've already seen it almost turn on a dime in about 20 seconds. Hanover's still in good shape. They know they can score. They just got to find the right opportunity.
Here is Cook towards the box. The ball towards the back post. Ludwig's going to have to run it down, looking for a teammate. She has Finiseth. Ludwig right at the corner flag, trying to win a corner. It's just a throw-in. Very close to that corner flag. Ludwig just lets it go out of play, and it'll be another throw-in. But Rose-Hulman have really been pressuring these throws, not make it easy. Rainbolt. Rose-Hulman just happy to keep kicking the ball out of play, so long as the throws don't enter the box or get near there. Finiseth.
And now Rose-Hulman just satisfied to knock the ball out of bounds. They know that if it's not in play, they probably can't be hurt by it, and ultimately they've done a good job of creating a good defensive shell around Dore.
Hard to give up a goal when the ball is closer to the touchline than it is to the goal box. That ball sent way into the air. Brooke Ward thought about throwing it back in, but instead it's Finiseth, senior from Kentucky. Playing it down the line, looking for the freshman Gill. Gill gets beat to it by Camille Clark, who has done it tonight on both ends of the pitch. Had the goal in the 22nd minute and has made countless plays on the defensive end as well to make sure her goal stands as the only one to this point. Finiseth cross into the box. Coming out is Dore, and she does a good job reading it.
A little bit of a misplay trying to clear that initially, but Dore really did a nice job of knowing when to come out, grab that ball, and reset possession.
Rose-Hulman, who have been pinned mostly in their half in the last 5 or so minutes, looking to make something happen on the other end. Garcia sends it ahead, a little too much on it. And the throw-in will be taken, but first a substitution as Allie Smith comes back in. Callan Johnson re-enters. Has 3 game-winning goals this year. That's best in the conference. She takes the penny from Mullenkamp, the freshman.
You can see definitely Rose-Hulman starting to fall back. They're not really streaming players forward anymore. At least they haven't been over the course of the last couple of minutes.
Hicks with a nice touch to turn it to her left. Quick one-touch pass up the middle for a good through ball. John's chasing after it. She's going to get there. She kept it in play, but Hanover retakes possession. Cook beat to it by Clark.
A good intervention by Clark. Saw what Cook wanted to do. She clearly was waiting for her teammate to come up and continue on that possession, but Clark was having none of it.
Clark going to chase this ball down with Cook hot on her trail. uses her mind and just lets the ball roll out of play, taking Cook out of the picture.
Folks, why go anywhere else for delicious food but Aspen Creek Grill? If you're looking for amazing fresh food and servers that genuinely care about service, you've got to try Aspen Creek Grill. If you're looking for amazing fresh food, that's the place to go. Head up Aspen Creek Grill today.
"14 minutes for Hanover to try and find an equalizer. Chance for Johnson. Crossing it into the box, looking for Cook, but it didn't quite get there. And now a throw in for Hanover, and you can really see the lack of time they are taking between these throw-ins. Finiseth. Ball gets knocked out. Finiseth again looking to throw it in. Takes the shorter route for Ludwig. Ludwig gets it back. Nora Ludwig into the box, looking for a teammate. It went off of Cook, off a few players. The shot easily into the breadbasket of Dore.
Thought that went off a hand at some point. Not a Rose Holman hand. It looked like maybe a Hanover hand. But again, a nice job by Dore. Didn't panic, kept position, stayed in the middle of the goal mouth, and able to scoop that one up easily.
Dore just sends it away as far as she can. Rose Holman just happy to let the ball go out of play and let the time keep ticking. They'll bring Schuler back in. And Marquardt, who's had a fantastic spell tonight, will come out.
Sydney Schuler back in. You got to like that if you're Rose Holman. A little offensive firepower.
Schuler played 15 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, not that Marquardt was any slouch when it came to offense. Really generated a couple of good chances so far in this half.
There's a dangerous through ball. Cook can get on it. Gill's currently in an offside position, but maneuvers herself so she can play this legally. Gill got shoved off the ball as she made the cross. It's kept in by Dore. She could have just let it roll out and let some more time tick off, but opts to just pick it up. And now will bounce the ball around the box for as long as she can. Before she puts her right boot into it. Hicks gets it ahead further in the Hanover half. And then Hicks nearly wins the throw, and the official points that it is a Hanover throw, and by our vantage point, which was certainly pretty good, it seemed like that was the right call.
Hanover really focusing on this right wing. They have really not used the width of the field at all. They must see something defensively they think they can exploit over here.
Maybe that's why Schuler was brought back into the match in favor of maybe a more tired Marquardt. There's the opposing number 3 in Gill. Hicks takes it away, and now Hicks with those long strides can dribble the ball up the pitch. Hanover, not a ton of players right now in the attacking half, but a ball down the line, a race for it. Ball's just painstakingly going to roll out of play for Rose Holman, and it'll be a goal kick for Hanover.
Folks, find your future in the cloud. Clean Slate is a technology consulting firm specializing in custom-built modern applications and products that deliver greater agility, faster speed to innovation, and the resiliency to handle whatever the future throws your way. Call Clean Slate today at 866-885-3249.
Katie Choi comes out. Riley Heasley re-enters for Hanover. Pardon me, for Rose Holman, as both teams, 11 minutes left. Rose Holman now kind of figuring that they're going to have to see this match out with maybe the ball in their half a little more than it was in the first.
Well, and a rarity so far here, we've seen a switch over to the left wing for Hanover, as maybe they're trying a different angle of attack than what has not been working so far for them.
Ball played ahead. Plenty of room, but a good job by Terry to step up. Aaron Terry, junior from Indianapolis. 2 shots this season, a 9 games started. Here comes Beth Cook. Goalkeeper comes out and a collision. Ball still out of the box, waiting and waiting. Very dangerous as Dore just waited for that ball to spin back after colliding with Cook.
Playing with fire there a little bit, Dore, but I love the intervention there. You come out, you cut off that angle, and you just go ahead and take the ball away. And a little lucky there wasn't another teammate there for Cook to try to take advantage of that ball bouncing outside the box, but it ended up working out for her.
Hicks gets it ahead for Emma Johns. Cleared out of the final third for now. Hicks waits again to chest it down and pokes it ahead for Heasley, fresh off the bench. Johns back towards the Rolls-Holman back line. Now just opting to stretch the play as much as possible and almost play keep away at this point. That will do. Ball over the top. Patterson does well to claim it. Finiseth ahead looking for Gill. And McGill trying to get around one, but couldn't get around Schuler, who falls to the ground, tries to get back up and win the ball. But Finiseth gets back on it. Cook trying to win the ball. She does just that. Beth Cook onto her left. We know she prefers that right, looking for the through ball towards the middle. It wasn't there. It was blocked. Cook didn't win the second ball, but Hanover still holds on to possession. Ludwig taken away by Schuler. Finiseth comes back, chips it up, looking for Ludwig. Schuler just guarding the touchline rather, and that ball barely goes out of play. It will be a Rolls-Holman throw. 8 minutes left for Rolls-Holman to hold on to this lead, which they've had really throughout over 70% of this match. They scored the lone goal in the 22nd minute, courtesy of Camille Clark, her second goal of the year. It's just Rolls-Holman's 7th goal this season. They went the first 5 matches without scoring, without finding the back of the net. Those all resulted in losses. They scored 3 against Greenville, 2 against Bluffton, and 1 against Transylvania. But so far, they are still unbeaten in the HCAC and are 7.5 minutes from advancing to 2-0-1, which would, for now, propel them ahead of Hanover.
Game's not quite over yet. We keep seeing Hanover getting better opportunities, and now they're going to get a really good opportunity.
A free kick from about 25 yards out for Hanover.
We'll see who takes this.
It's going to be Cook.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to build the suspense, Austin.
Sorry,
but hey, thanks for ruining it.
There's one easy option here. It's the player with 6 goals and 9 assists, and it's the one who broke the program record last year with 22 goals. 3-person wall for,
including Kira Hicks, who is not a short player.
All of 6'2", a quick through ball towards the middle, and it is cleared away. I feel like Rolls-Holman almost wasn't ready for that. Cook almost caught everyone off guard.
Yeah, that was a really nice idea by Hanover. They just couldn't quite get the execution on the tail end. Big corner kick now for both teams.
Hanover hasn't had too many of these tonight. Into the box towards the near post, bumbled around, loose, pinballing around, nobody wants it. And finally, Dore comes to save the day. She may have gotten stepped on as well. Referee calls Cook over and says maybe slow things down a little bit. Says use your head.
Some brave goalkeeping there by Dore, as that was a scrum. It looked like, as you said, the ball was bouncing around. You never know in those situations what's going to happen, but Dore able to keep an eye on the ball and get down, secure it. And now only 6 minutes left in this one.
Garcia drops back to take this free kick. Looking ahead for Hicks. Ball wouldn't find her. Rolls-Holman not afraid to put some numbers in the attacking half, but you can get beat on the other end. Here is Beth Cook Cook cuts to her right, only making one player slip to the turf. Cook trying to go all on her own, now plays the pass. The shot from distance, safely into the hands of Dore. It came from Callan Johnson. As I mentioned, has 3 game-winning goals this year. That one would have been to tie, but still nothing past the gloves of Dore tonight.
5th shot on goal for Hanover, and none of them have looked terribly threatening. The most threatening moments have come in those scrums that we've seen in front of the net. And someone down with what looks like a cramp. And clock going to be stopped. Trying to see who that is. It's not a serious injury. They're stretching her out. That is Kiana Martin. And she's getting stretched out by Kira Hicks. Should be fine and gives both teams a little bit of a reset here. 5 minutes to go, Austin. Hanover really piling the pressure on right now, and Rose Holman doing a pretty good job of absorbing it. And now they're going to bring the trainer on. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more here on RHIT.TV.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
Back here at Rose Holman Soccer Field, Galen Clavio and Austin Platt joining you. Kiana Martin able to get back up off the pitch and walk off under her own power, so everything looking fine with her as the cramp takes her down. Before we get back to action, just a reminder that over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. Can you volunteer today? Give us a call, 317-686-6239.
Martin walks off under her own power. Graduate student from Michigan, getting her master's in engineering management.
Rose Holman on the restart. A chance to maybe shave a minute or so off the clock if they can get this ball into Hanover territory and just maintain possession for a bit.
It's a pretty good looking ball that should help with that. Schuler has a shot from distance, and wisely Patterson just lets it bounce over her head. It will be a goal kick, but first Stacia Brooks comes on.
So
Johns comes off.
Not a surprise. Brooks taller, and Emma Johns really been out there as kind of an agent of chaos on offense, and I think Brooks going to be able to fall back into midfield a little bit more.
Rose Holman applying some pressure. They do not want the ball in their half if they can afford it. Gill trying to bring it down and settle things down for Hanover. She finds Clara Finiseth. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a Hanover throw. That ball rolling. But quickly the Panthers get it back in. Finiseth plays a ball but to the wrong team. Fighting Engineers looking for another opportunity, just sent away. Cook just waiting there, looking for one opportunity, potentially, which could be the difference. Here's Ludwig. Ludwig loves to go wide in these opportunities and does just that and wins the throw.
I think at this point, if you're Rose Holman, you just anchor 2 people to Beth Cook and don't let her away no matter what. This is when man marking really comes in handy.
You just play the numbers game and hope that works out. Ball rolls out of play. Rose Holman will just let that ball roll for as far as possible. 3.5 minutes away from a marquee victory. They came away with the draw last year when the two teams played in the regular season finale. When they met a week later in the semifinals of the HCAC tournament, it was the Panthers that won 2-0. Kate Bettner had one of those goals. She's been very quiet tonight.
Rose Holman probably wants to take it to the corner here. If they can, they got to get the ball first.
Ludwig speeds by Shermer, looking for Cook. And a drag of the jersey, easy for the referee to spot behind the play. Sydney Elliott made the run forward, may have taken the ball right in front of Cook. And if there's one opportunity for Hanover to take advantage of, it is right here, about 3 yards out, 3 yards beyond the 18. And it will be the left foot, it looks like, of Gill.
That's Cam Horsley.
Horsley, rather, you're right. That's a 9. Horsley looking for the wall. May have hit an arm along the way, and then another player goes down for Hanover, and now easy for Hicks to just try and run it towards the corner flag, and that works as well. It's a throw-in right in front of the Hanover bench, as it looks like Finiseth went down.
Now Rose Holman going to take their time getting this throw in pretty good shape here, although they decide to knock it into the middle of the pitch, which I'm a little surprised by.
Ball sent ahead.
Nice job by Clark.
Hicks trying to get on the end of it. She just lets it roll. Ludwig can't advance the ball. Taken away by Schuler. Sydney Schuler gets it back from Hicks. Schuler, the best option here is just go towards the corner flag, and well, maybe she heard me because she started doing that and the ball was knocked out of play.
Time on the side of the Fighting Engineers as we wind down towards a minute left.
Whistle goes against the Fighting Engineers, and now Hanover are going to have to move the ball up the pitch quickly. 1 minute to go.
I was wondering why they were taking so long to throw it in. It was a free kick, as it turns out. That's not going to get it done.
No. Hicks just dribbles it ahead. Someone lost their footing there, but play continues. Hanover really has to get the ball up the field quickly. Cook does a good job. Now Cook using her head. Gill will chase. Clark will just try and keep the ball away from danger. 27 seconds left. The throw-in will be Rose Holman's, and that may just about do it.
That was a really good play by Clark. Somehow double-teamed there defending. She gets to knock it off of the Hanover player. Now only 12 seconds left.
10, is there one more chance? Back 8, towards the box. Cleared away one more time.
5, 4, 3, 2,
and that will do it. The ball ends up in the hands of Dory, which is a fitting way for this match to end. And Rose Holman picks up a marquee victory at home. They beat the team coming into the night ranked 4th in the Region 7 rankings in Hanover. A 1-0 victory. The lone goal in the 22nd minute, and Rose Holman held on. Chances for Hanover in the second half, but it's not enough, and the hosts come away with a pretty big win, as they are clearly, October's been a better month for them.
What a tremendous effort by this Rose Holman women's soccer team. They came out, they established the tempo early, they established how the flow of the game was going to go. We, as it turned out, Austin, were not entirely wrong in our pregame analysis, because while Rose Holman did nick that goal early, it was really their defense that made things happen throughout the course of this contest. They stymied this Hanover squad throughout. Yes, the Panthers got some chances at the end, but frankly, most of those chances didn't look particularly good. It was not a very solid offensive effort. They largely keep Beth Cook bottled up, and you just have to take your hat off to this Rose Holman squad. They did a really great job of figuring out how to win this game. Let's go ahead and wrap up by giving our sponsors, our title sponsors for this broadcast on RHIT.TV, brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment, a leading equipment dealer since 1955. By Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermakers Local 374, representing highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. By Wheeler Mission, for over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. By Bertner Electric, trusted electrician partners since 1986. Morales Group Staffing, in the business to create a better future for you and your family. By McGinley Wrights Financial Group, by Indiana Laborers District Council. The 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council are LIUNA. And finally, by IndianaSRN Sports page. Log on at IndianaSRN.org and click on the tab. Austin, any final thoughts from you on this one?
Fantastic from Rose Holman. You changed the script pretty quickly. They had the ample time to try and change their season around after non-conference play, and they've been able to do that. And sometimes you stick to a plan in this sport, and you get the tactics right. And if you go about the plan properly, then you're going to come through with the result. And they did just that and come away with all 3 points.
Rose Holman's record moves to 3-6-1, 2-0-1 in the HCAC. Hanover drops to 7-3 and 2-1 in the HCAC. Our thanks to the entire technical staff that helped make this broadcast happen. We appreciate all of you. Austin, as always, a pleasure doing a game with you.
That was fun.
For Austin Platt, I'm Galen Clavio. Again, the final score, Rose Holman 1, Hanover 0, here from Rose Holman Soccer Field in Terre Haute, Indiana. We'll catch you folks on the flip side. So long, everybody. Best case scenario. Officially human.